Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. My name is Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by my good friends, Mr. Rich Ortiz and Tarek Lewis. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing great on this wonderful Tuesday night. We're here to talk everything geek and nerdy that's going on in the interwebs and social media and Hollywood and anything else that we deem appropriate to talk about. Great. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hope everyone's had a great week. Hope everyone enjoys the Memorial Day weekend's coming up. What's the movies in the movie theater this weekend?
Fight or Flight, I think I'm gonna go watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the makers of John Wick. They have Josh Hartnett in an action movie.
Oh, Ballerina, right? What about Ballerina? Isn't that this weekend too?
Ballerina. Actually, there's a couple of movies coming out this week. Mission Impossible comes out this weekend too.
Really? I saw her fight. She was fighting John Wick in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a dream or not. But it looks like. I mean, there was very little dialogue, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Interesting. I think it's very, very, very interesting. We'll talk about that. We got a new trailer for Superman, guys. A full trailer with some plot beats and everything. I'm sure we're gonna run it here live on the show, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the finale of Andor. Tarek and me will talk about it, and Rich will just sit
I watched
attentively and pay attention.
I watched it.
You did?
Yeah, I just watched it.
You burned through it?
I just watched it, yeah.
Wow. Well, we gotta hear your take on it because I know you're not that close to the IP. You're okay. You're all right. Your Star Wars all right.
I'm all right with Star Wars. The thing is, when it comes to like this show, I didn't start it when you guys started it because I know this is a slow burn. So it's kind of one of those that I waited till the finale so I could watch them all.
Okay. Well, that you know what? I should have done that.
I'm actually glad I did though.
Shout out to Angel. What up, brother?
Angel?
He's with our co-host. He's with one of our co-hosts. It's on vacation. It's a Joy franchise, I'm sure. Let's talk about what everybody. Excuse me while I sneeze. Let's talk about the Superman trailer, man. Official takes on it before I run it. Tarek, how you feel about this Superman trailer now? We've had a lot. We've seen a lot. Have we seen too much? Oh, I can't hear you. Yeah, you're muted. Yeah, I can't hear you. I don't know why. I don't know what happened.
I guess I'll start.
You hear me now? You hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you go. Now I got you. Yeah. So tell us, did we see too much of the Superman trailer?
Not too much. This one didn't excite me. It could have left me more in in limbo, and I would have been happier. I don't like him fighting the kaijus. I don't like him fighting the monsters. It looks weird.
It's weird, right? I'm on the fence about it right now. I don't know.
I think you guys are hating a little bit. I think as the trailer goes for me, hopefully they didn't show too much. I mean, they show obviously Lex Luthor getting into the Fortress of Solitude. They show fighting the kaijus. They show a little bit more of I guess Lois Lane and Clark Kent's kind of dialogue with each other.
Right.
They show Crypto getting into a little bit of a fight scene.
Yeah. Crypto could just skibbity pap to somebody.
Crypto's out here. Crypto's scared.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little happy that Crypto has a bigger role than what I originally thought it was going to be. I thought that one scene that we saw from the teaser of him picking up Superman, I thought that was going to be
him terrorizing Superman.
I thought that was going to be the extent of Crypto, but it looks like Crypto has plays an important part, which I'm actually pretty good with. It actually makes me a little excited to see the movie, not just with Crypto, but with all the other characters in it. The fight scenes actually look pretty interesting to me. I like it. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z style ish.
Well, sure. Yeah. Let's run it. Let's run it for everybody who hasn't watched it. Yeah. What did you think about this
interview you as Superman
interview thing?
Sure.
Huh? What do you think? You think this was a good take?
Interview,
a good idea?
Interview?
Yeah.
No, it's a great. I think it's a great angle.
Okay.
That we already it's establishing people come in the movie
Superman.
and know that she knows Miss Lane.
Right.
Kind of like doing the Spider-Man,
which is kind of weird. He doesn't even have his glasses on there when the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's
today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your.
I'm assuming that she knows already that he's Superman because he doesn't even have his glasses off. Yeah. But I'm assuming because he doesn't have the glasses on, she knows that they're playing around, they're role playing, and she knows he's definitely Superman.
Yeah. I think at that point, she already knows, like you said, the no glasses.
How you're gonna be? I'm not the one being interviewed.
Also, I like the montage of them showing how strong Superman is. You right there throwing his face into the ground, him eating a tank bullet.
Yeah.
You seemingly act.
So they're kind of showing the power of Superman. Also, again, like I was talking about before, Lois and him talking, kind of like before we saw them in an interaction of, a fight happening in the background and, them in love. But it shows a little bit more of like them actually having a little bit of conflict there.
Yeah, no, because he's getting a little like we haven't seen this like an emotional outburst. I don't remember seeing Superman in the movie have emotional outbursts like this. Look, and if he's like playing around, who's that? What's that bad guy there? The tank? What's it called?
Warrior.
This guy?
The warrior.
He's from another country or something? Yeah.
I thought it was Iron Man for a second.
If you can.
Can't do that. I kind of like this. What happened?
Pause it really quick. The rumor is that the rumor I saw just today is that that's Supergirl in that armor fighting him.
What?
Yeah, I read a rumor, and it's like that's actually Supergirl, and Lex Luthor is controlling her.
Well, we also saw that. I guess his name is Rob Flag. He's going to be one of the bad guys in this, so it could be him. Or I mean, but I haven't heard that rumor. Supergirl, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
but it's like, why would she have that suit?
I think they're stealing it. I think they're stealing it from the Superman and Lois cartoon.
Yeah. Well, I think they're stealing a lot of ideas from a lot of different places. I like this just a regular dude just helping Superman out. I kind of like that.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Well, that's it's good to see that because we've been seeing the scene of the guy throwing the garbage at Superman as he's walking by. So it kind of is like, we see that part and then him now getting held by somebody. So there's definitely got to be a story arc where it goes from them hating him to them loving him.
Socks. Welcome, Socks. Why is Superman covering his face from the fire blast? That wasn't going to hurt him. It wasn't kryptonite. Who knows? Maybe the power level was just high.
He was trying to keep his eyebrows on fleek, though.
He's trying to keep his eyes not crisscrossing.
So this is what I was talking about here. See Crypto. Those are the automatons getting messed up. Lex Luthor, but Crypto here getting hints of
Crypto. Give it a skibbity pat. Yeah.
That's what makes you who you are.
I think this is cool.
For lot
I
of
have a lot of
good
good
by the
beats.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
Superman.
let's pause it real quick.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There'll be no Mr. Terrific disrespect in this movie. We will
I
respect Mr. Terrific.
think it's gonna be great.
He looks good. Like, listen, he
Yeah.
got disrespected when he was what's homeboy?
And Legends of Tomorrow.
No, he got disrespected. This actor got disrespected as the character in X-Men First Class.
First class,
Yes.
yeah.
Darwin.
Yes.
He got
Yeah.
disrespected because in the comics Darwin can't really die. And they just killed him off like on
They
some dumb
killed
shit.
they killed him off halfway through the movie.
I know.
Yeah,
That was lame.
they killed him off on something stupid.
That was lame.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
let's
was
go.
lame. So give Mr. Terrific some respect in this film. Go ahead.
Let's run it.
But right there we see Superman also. Big scene. Superman's sick right there, which means he's probably got hit with one of those
Yeah.
krypton bullets, or kryptonite bullets.
And I kind of like Lex Luthor's take, like, on his hate. Like he considers Superman a it, not a him, not a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult
Yeah.
is looking like he might be a very good Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I think he really took it to heart.
And it's gonna look like the story arc's gonna be the people hating Superman at first because they don't know what he is,
Right.
and then he has to save them so many times
I'll go get him for you.
for them to love him at the end.
Like, I'm cool with the kaiju thing. Honestly, I think that's this dude, the Metamorpho guy. I think he just went crazy.
That's bull hair.
Metamorpho goes crazy
I
because
think, yeah, I think he became I really think it's Metamorpho. And now that I see him more, now that I see it like this, I really don't think it's a random monster. I think it's Metamorpho. Just
that is not in Metamorpho's power set.
I don't know, bro. You never know.
No,
Anyway,
I'm just saying it would be so
and if it's not, it's whatever. But we did see a good scene of Metamorpho right there. You see, he's not really part of the team, so he's kind of discovered, I guess, in this movie. Some
he's in prison,
yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is it just me, or does Metamorpho look like Zordon? Is it just me, or does Metamorpho look like Zordon from Power Rangers?
a little bit.
And the suit, yo, I mean, am I the only one? Look at Crypto. See? Crypto doing his thing.
Crypto's gonna make all the money, bro. I see all the crypto dolls all over the place already.
I mean, I know we talked about it briefly last time, but I gotta be honest, I'm not really feeling that new Superman logo.
No?
I am not either, Rich. I'm not liking the Superman logo.
I don't know. I care less about that than just give us a good Superman movie, I guess.
Dude, we've had the traditional Superman logo for so long, and they kind of switched it up a little bit. I mean, you know, it may grow on me. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, whoever was at that designer just chose Callisto calligraphy font. I'm not pleased with that decision.
That's funny. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm saying a little bit more comedic relief with Crypto. Like I said, he plays a little bit bigger of a part. He has a fight scene, and there in that trailer alone, you see a lot. You know, as far as him getting sick, them going to the Fortress of Solitude, again him fighting the kaiju's. I'm curious to see who that is. Where Metamorpho plays a part on this, and also the story of Clark Kent. I want to see that. How Lois Lane finds out he's Superman. I want to see their interactions with each other. But also the colors are very vibrant in just the trailer, and I'm very interested to see how it looks, not just in theaters, but maybe in IMAX and all the other like different forms of the big screen that they have.
It'll be interesting. So we're looking forward to it. That's the consensus so far. Cautiously optimistic. There you go.
There you go. And Sox is right that one of the news reporters is Christopher Reeve's son, who is actually a real news reporter too. But that was leaked a while ago. What's up, Mama Bear?
What's up, Mama Bear?
Oh, there.
But yeah, looking forward to that Superman movie when it comes out, and all the movies
I'm
that come out
curious
this
to
summer.
see what kind of money it brings in.
Oh yeah,
Because
me too. Me too.
Thunderbolts just hit, I think, over 300 million.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So I don't know what their budget is for Superman or what they're expecting, but I feel
Oh
like it was
man, I think if it doesn't make at least 500 mil, I think it would be almost a failure. Considered a failure, man.
500 mil.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Think about what Man of Steel made.
I know.
Man of Steel box office. Let's see.
They're saying that the budget for the new Superman movie
70
is
million.
around 180 million.
Hmm.
I'd
And
say the
they
worldwide
said it.
gross of Man of Steel was 670 million. So I'd say if
Yeah.
it doesn't it probably at least hit 450. I think they would consider it like not even in its.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know. I
they're
think they need to
saying,
make their money back in a little more. They'll be
yeah,
happy.
they're saying some reports have it that their budget was 363 million, but James Gunn has denied those, and they're reporting it to be around 180 million. The budget.
It doesn't like he didn't go too crazy with the movie. You know what I mean?
Man, that
So
CGI is expensive as hell.
yeah, it is.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
they don't have many big stars besides Lois Lane being from Mrs. Maisel.
Hmm.
Mr. Terrific is Darwin. Uh, Guy Gardner is, Nathan. I can't remember his name, but they're probably not spending much money on the cast.
Yeah.
Except for my
Probably
girl
Nick
Isabella
Cole is probably the
Merced.
highest paid.
Isabella Merced.
So,
Isabella Merced, Hog Girl. She plays Hog Girl in the movie. That's
yeah,
my girl.
Oh, you'll
that's your
get plenty
girl.
of her in the
In The
Peacemaker
Last of
season
Us.
2 thing too.
Yeah,
All right, so let's move on to I guess before we completely make Rich's head spin with Star Wars stuff, let's talk about this interesting thing that happened on in the internet about Henry Cavill's Voltron movie. Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught that. This is the
I think you're the only person that's
and you
been.
don't want to talk about it? No, no, no. It was on what's this guy that does the really big YouTube channel? What's his name?
Emergency Awesome,
No, not him.
Collider.
Campia. John Campia was all over this.
Hmm.
Henry Cavill's live-action Voltron movie may not have a theatrical release, despite having a star-studded cast. It might go straight to streaming, guys.
The Voltron movie.
The Voltron movie.
Wow.
The live-action adaptation of Volt. This is from Collider, and I think they're getting it from another report. Let's see. The live-action of Voltron star Henry Cavill is bound to wake its made to Prime Video anytime soon. Filming for the sci-fi feature began in December. No release date yet. It will be a streaming exclusive. In April 2025, Prime Video released a statement that plans to release 14 movies in 2026 and noted that the streaming giant has bought out 5 to 8 movies per year in the past. But despite their commitment to bring their exclusive to the cinema, it was recently reported that there are no plans to bring the Voltron movie to theaters and that will be a Prime Video exclusive. Amazon has released a handful of movies in theaters. I counted 2, and then I guess I did so. I think Masters of the Universe is going to go to theaters still. But they're reporting that this will go to streaming, and also the reboot of Highlander, which also stars Henry Cavill, weirdly, will also just go to streaming.
So I think this is good news for the people.
Mm.
As far as like it will be a lot easier for us to watch the movie, especially if you got Prime. But as far as the movie and their star-studded cast,
Yeah.
I felt like that this was more than worthy of being a theatrical release.
Yeah, I figured why not run it? Out of all the 80s things, out of all the 80s cartoons, I think Voltron might have had a shot in the box office, right? Right, Tarek? Might have okay shot. Well, box office.
I think so.
Fun movie.
So I don't know how much it captured a second generation with the animated show that they had on Netflix, which was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was very good. I don't think that captured another audience, but I think like me and my homeboys were talking, like everything's a remake. Like they're doing
True.
another. I Know What You Did Last Summer. We had Final
Yeah.
Destination, which we talk about, and
Final this, and we're going to talk about it shortly.
Superman, and we're going to be bringing back Fantastic Four and
Mm-hmm.
X-Men. And I would have thought, that would be the prime thing, especially with a star like Henry Cavill. Where people want to see Henry Cavill,
Right?
In something, and it's Voltron is much bigger than The Witcher, for instance. So I'm a little shocked. It does not.
I am too.
Film, Speedy.
Yeah. Am I not hold bode well for the movie itself if it's not good? You mean? Maybe they're just like, yeah, we're gonna put this on streaming. You think that's the vibe?
I think for me, other than Henry Cavill, Rita Ora, and Sterling K. Brown, like the rest of the cast, it's not that huge to me. I think the one of the girls that plays Cinta in Andor is in this as well. But other than that, I don't really see. I mean, I'm okay with it going to Prime, like I said before, because it makes it a lot more accessible for all of us. But maybe the budget wasn't that big for them. Amazon and MGM working out a deal isn't the worst. It's just we're not going to get as big of a release as we thought it was going to be.
Well, I know Henry Cavill's got a lot of things going on with Amazon right now with MGM. He's got the reboot of Highlander, which should be dope. I mean, I don't see how they could mess that up. And then there's also the Warhammer stuff that he's been working on, his pet project stuff. So, maybe this is all part of that. Maybe, who knows?
Nah, he ain't got nothing to do with that, dog.
No, you think so?
Yeah, those studios ain't thinking about Henry Cavill.
Well, no, maybe he's and these famous people that got their producing companies involved.
There's no way they're like, we need to put Warhammer in the theaters and not Voltron.
Yeah, well, I see that. I can see Warhammer going straight to streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely. But definitely this live action Voltron, a little shocking. I hope it blows out well, man, because I got high hopes for it.
Listen, Amazon, like HBO, does really well, not just with their series, but with their movies as well. And they're actually pretty high budgeted they're like long feature films. So,
yeah, I mean, look all the really good stuff that's on Amazon. I mean, they have really good Reacher.
Yeah, Reacher was amazing.
Yeah.
With the Terminal List with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, the Terminal List they could have.
The Tomorrow War was good.
Yeah, they could have put all that stuff in the movie theater, and they just really put it as streaming. It's not low quality.
Yeah.
So we will see. What happens.
It's not the worst news, but I know Speedy's upset about it because he was waiting to go see that sneak peek first person.
I was. I don't think they're done. I think they're still filming.
It actually finished last month.
Okay.
Filming did finish.
But then it is in post then.
Yep.
Which Prime is doing a sneak peek of
Superman. So yeah, that was a whole little alley oop we did right there. If you really want to see a sneak peek of Superman, if you're so enterprising, I think John Campea shared the link that you could sign up if you have Amazon Prime, so you could sign up to get a screener for Superman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting, and also interesting thing going on with Amazon there that they're doing for, I don't know. Yeah, it's like they're making these projects, but not quite supporting the movie theater with them. But they still are supporting big budget.
Dude, Amazon's
companies.
Trying to get them subscribers up, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to get that.
Keep everybody subscribed. That's what they're trying to do. Keep everybody subscribed. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about now Andor season 2.
I got notes.
The precursor for Rogue One, probably one of the most iconic Star Wars movies of all time before anything in the trilogies.
So I do want to ask a question before this. Andor's done after this, right? There's no season 3 coming. This is supposed to be
season 3 is called Rogue One.
Yeah, so that was my question because everything makes sense now for Rogue One,
Yeah.
but also there's a little something that people didn't get. But I'll let you guys talk about it first, and then I'll
Mm,
talk about
mm,
mine at the end.
mm. Well, um, I still feel like this was like one of those docudramas. Like if we lived in the New Republic, we'd have to sit down and watch in school and be like, "Oh, look how the rebellion came to be, ladies and gentlemen." You're gonna have to sit down and watch this movie or these shows, these episodes. And I enjoy the acting and everything about it. I think is great. I still just left with the question of it's cool that we kind of learned the backstory, but I was
Why?
fine the way it was. Why?
Yeah.
Why did we spend this money? Why?
Well,
We kind of didn't move nothing forward with Star Wars with it. It was cool, but I don't
go
know.
ahead, Tarek. I'm holding my
Tarek,
breath.
help me out.
It makes the other films better. I think Andor makes Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, better.
Okay.
I think it gives more like idea of like, um, oh, there's a rebellion. It's not just about the Jedi and the
Right.
Sith. It's
No, it's true.
about like the
It's
whole
about
planning
normal
going
people in the
on.
galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in the galaxy.
Right.
How do they build the Death Star? Where do they get the resources from?
Exactly.
How does the Senate gets destroyed in the middle of the Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope?
Right.
The Senate gets eliminated. Why was it
Yeah, it does.
important to eliminate the Senate? Like some of
Mm-hmm.
these little small conversations that they have in Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
make more sense because of Andor. So I
Okay.
think that's the value of it. In a way, it has more value than
Mm-hmm.
the postals, or I don't know what you call
This
the
is.
the
Mm-hmm.
the, 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 the sequels to the originals, which were after the prequels. It has
Right.
more oomph than the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and the Rise of Skywalker. This
Okay.
has more importance to me. It has more oomph and adds to the story more than those do, because you're kind of
Interesting.
like, okay, oh, you know, the whole system, the whole universe, the whole galaxy, should I say, was debating rebellion and how they rebelled and how we put things together. So I think it was more interesting on that point. Could they
So
have spent that money differently doing a Mace Windu or a Yoda movie or a series? Absolutely.
they
But
could have.
I agree with you though. Like I feel like it adds more depth to it. Not just I mean we all know what happens to Cassian in Rogue One and everybody else, but I think one thing I mean this season this wasn't the traditional season finale. This was more of like a setup for what happens in Rogue One and everything else. One thing that I enjoyed was the way, like Tark was saying, the way
Mm.
that they kind of called back certain things in the movies in Rogue One and in The New Hope. But also, like
I
one
like
thing
seeing
that
Yavin 4, like the way it was built and it was bigger than just the base. People were
oh
living there.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
the
that was cool.
Death Star, of course.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this episode, he's on another mission to go to Catherine, and Catherine is actually where Rogue One starts, which is why I
Right.
asked that question.
Right.
So like it's a good callback to that. Also, the just the rebellion in itself, seeing all the characters and their story arcs,
Mm-hmm.
Luthen's story arc, Dedra's story arc, everybody, Cinta, like you see not just where the rebellion starts, but kind of where the empire starts falling apart,
Right.
and how
They have a
uh
dysfunction. There's a really big dysfunction in the empire. Though the way
exactly and
the what was the branch that Dedra was from? The IS is that
IBS or
what was it
something like
called?
that. I don't know.
IS IBS or something like that.
Yeah,
IB,
ISBS or whatever it was.
Yeah, and they beefed with the military, with the regular Empire military.
Hmm.
They were competitive with them, about cases and things like
Hmm.
that.
But
People they were
we
investigating.
see Yavin. We see like where
Hmm.
everybody's at. Also, I mean, we also see everybody setting up for the rebellion. We see the starfighters. We see everything. But the biggest thing that
Yeah.
we took from this in this season finale was a cliffhanger at the end is that Cassian got a baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
he
whole kid,
does.
Got a
dog.
He
kid.
survived. He survived in a weird way.
Yeah, and
By his
but the
offspring.
biggest thing was Bix, and now we understand why she was saying she was choosing for the both of them, and she was choosing for the rebellion,
Right.
because she knew that if Cassian knew that he had a baby, Cassian wouldn't have helped the rebellion, and he would have went back with Bix, and they would have been on their own, and there would have
Yeah.
been no Cassian. There would have been no Rogue One. There would have been no rebellion. And also,
Right.
the conversation that Cassian has at the end of the episode, uh, where we hear "May the Force be with you," kind of makes you think: is it
Mm-hmm.
Cassian the entire time was going on grief and trying to get that payback and revenge, but at the end, it's like,
Yeah. Well, that was the first
yeah,
season.
all in the
Yeah.
first season. But now it's kind of like, oh, was the Force really what? Was it really him all this time trying to get in the fight, or was it the Force that was helping him?
Mm.
Get that balance back in the universe. So I thought that was really
He
cool.
also survived a lot of hairy situations where a lesser or one little misstep, he could have died. You know,
So
Yeah.
it's kind of just like Coinky Dinks. He survived some of
Nah,
those
and also
one
things.
there was
thing
a lot of
I will say, which is also why I asked you guys, is there season 3?
Uh,
There could be a
yeah,
season 3, but the Andor that comes back is not going to be Cassian. It could be Andor, his son.
Andor Junior
It could be.
or Andor Juniorette.
It could be.
We don't we don't know if it's a son or daughter. So, say your thought, Tarek.
I was saying, I think we see what this season of Andor shows is how Cassie becomes like not bloodthirsty, but like willing to kill. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's like,
Right.
I'm taking everybody out. And I watched
Yeah.
Rogue One again after Andor, and in the beginning, like,
Oh, you're one of those fans, huh?
did that, yeah. He's just willing to kill people, and like
Yeah.
he's in Rogue One, he's like, I'm going to kill or whoever the guy the architect of the Death Star. I'm going to kill him.
Right.
Like when I see him, and
Right.
the rebellion gives him orders, like kill him when you see him. Like we can't risk it.
Right.
Galen Corso or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, when I
Mhm.
see him, I'm gonna kill him. And the first scene in the movie, he kills somebody who like gives him some information. He's like, I gotta kill you because you're gonna,
Mhm.
you're gonna tell. So
Yep.
I think
Right.
in this season, we see how he becomes that savage, how he becomes that like
Yeah.
I gotta kill people.
Yeah, we see the progression from both seasons. Definitely. I thought it's interesting the story, the Dedra story, because technically, without her, right, there's not that info leak of info in the Empire, and they would never be able to find out where those plans would have been, right? Because she was already kind of like looking at plans. There was already like a free information passing through people's desks, and people were already looking at things that they shouldn't have looked at. So that's how that is kind of like interesting insight, like how the information leaked out, because it was easy to her, and also she had like a Captain what's the Moby Dick captain? Ahab. She had a little Captain Ahab, thing, trying to capture, stop the rebellion and capture Andor or kill him, so much so
She was
that
trying to stop the
she went too far and
She
got
was
herself
trying
in
to
trouble.
stop the rebellion the whole time. She was doing all these things like behind closed doors to kind of
Yeah,
make
yeah. Even
like manipulate things to work in her favor, and in the
mm-hmm.
end, now
Yep.
she's an enemy
Yeah.
of the Empire.
Even the person that she was in love with, like he got murked, and she's just like she was upset for that time, and then that's it. It became an obsession after that.
Yeah, that was
It was
an
interesting.
thing that the Empire was so cocky, or some people they were like, oh, we should let this little rebellion fester or whatever, and it won't be needed. It'll
Mm-hmm.
just give us more control.
Yeah. Or they let the what was the planet that they massacred again? Oh, it was a famous massacre. It's also a famous massacre in Star Wars lore that we finally saw
Yeah,
in
I
this
can't
in
remember
this
the name of
season.
the planet. That's
Um,
those poor people. I
forget now.
forgot the
To
name.
look it up. Yeah. And
Let me check my notes.
You were like Andor Star Wars Genocide.
The Gorman Massacre.
Yeah.
The Gorman Massacre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an actual important Star Wars lore thing that we've heard that happened.
Yeah.
But we actually finally see, what happened. For the Gorman Massacre.
Andor,
So that was interesting.
Is that like the Mandalorian? There's Jedi in it. There's Mandalorians who have the special armor and they're like different. There's all these different creatures and super.
Some of the Western vibe to that.
Droids. This one is just people.
Right.
It's just people, and it's like.
And K, don't forget about K.
Yeah, that's true.
Because K had that one in the hallway scene where my man went crazy.
Yeah, he was wrecking shop. Yeah,
and that's an interesting thing about your Force point too, because he saw K, get run over, and he was like, he kind of like had like a feeling, like he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take that. You know what I mean? He didn't know if they were gonna be able to fix that or not. He just kind of like went with a gut.
Yeah. But
interesting side note.
Like, in this world, like we always see in Andor, and you get involved in that with the spy stuff and the politics. Imagine in that world, Darth Vader shows up. He pops into a room, and it's like, all right, all bets are off.
Right.
We gotta stop doing anything. Like we are not seeing any. We haven't seen anything like this in a long time. Like these people aren't seeing Jedi and the Force users and stuff all the time.
No, they're not.
Not anymore. They're like 10, 15 years, 17 years.
All that stuff is gone now. Yeah.
All that stuff is gone. It's like long memories.
Mm-hmm.
So, somebody like a Darth
or
Vader
ancient history almost.
Yeah, and they tell you like Darth Vader's coming. You're like, yo, what? Wait a minute.
Vader? What? What's that? Until he starts murking people, and you're like, oh snap.
Yeah. So you feel like you can operate as long as that person's not around. So it gives. That's what I say when you watch Rogue One and Darth Vader shows up. It gives like a whole new level. It's like, oh, they're used to dealing with normal people, like not even the top level stormtroopers, like lower level stormtroopers and spies and agents and IS.
Right.
Now they're dealing with Darth Vader trying to get this secret out. That's crazy. Yeah.
It is a good show, and I recommend it.
WWF. Remember the Undertaker music used to come on? And everybody would be like, oh, shut down the Royal Rumble.
Once you hear that bell, you know what time it is, dog.
Yeah, once you hear
the same way once you saw that red lightsaber at the end of Rogue One, you know he was about to.
I still question why we did it, but it was good.
Yeah.
We're here. It's done already. So
hey, it was
we've
good.
seen
it was a good ending.
We consumed it.
Set
That's
up
it.
to Rogue One, and you know what? The possibilities of what they could do with Andor, with Bix and the child. I'm actually I'm still curious to see what they do with that, because there's a reason why they showed that at the end.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe they just wanted to give a little send off, little hint to the character.
The only thing that's sad is
a little flowers.
Yeah, the only thing that's sad about it is that Cassian dies and he didn't even know he had a child.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that maybe it was like a little bit of flowers to the character, that they decided to do. That might not turn into anything. All right. So yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into what the heck were we gonna else talk about today, Tarek?
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. And this is where I'd stand back and just listen to you guys talk about The Last of Us for.
Man, they be talking at the
what is it over? Like it's it? You had the season finale or no?
Dude, it's far from over.
I think we're like on episode 5 or something crazy.
Oh snap!
No, this was episode 6, I believe.
6. Okay.
That's funny.
Yo, The Last of Us be tugging at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, the writing in this show. I mean, if you played the video game, you already know. But the acting, the writing, and the way they call back everything in this show is chef's kiss, man.
See you, Mama Bear. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, to Tarek, you guys take over because I don't know nothing about this show. I haven't even played the video game.
Bro, they the episode prior left off with like a to me, what was devastating, and like I haven't played the video game, I was like, "Yo, what's this? What was gonna happen?" And they come back at the end, and
Mm,
we get flashbacks, a lot of flashbacks.
right.
Um, and again, as a fan of the show, I kind of
Mm,
wanted it to progress forward in this episode. But
right.
as I watched the episode, I was like, okay, I understand why they did
Oh,
this.
Mama Bear says next week is the finale. This was episode 7 this week.
Okay.
Are you guys behind? What's going on?
No, no, I'm pretty
No,
sure
no, no.
this.
We're not behind. I just didn't know what episode it was.
It's
I just
okay.
didn't know what episode it was.
Okay.
But
Okay. Very well.
it's all flashbacks, and spoiler alert, we get uh Joel back, and man, uh, to see how why and how he got where he
Right.
is in this season, and his relationship with Ellie, and the birthdays, the way they did it. Oh, it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful television. It was
Mhm,
just beautiful television. Not action packed at all. There's
mhm,
really no action. It's just like, oh, if you're wondering why these people care about each other, this is why.
mhm.
And so it was a great episode for that.
Okay,
Pulling that
let me
card,
Very cool.
man.
let me give you my breakdown. Here we go. It's gonna be a lengthy one. So, this episode, there's a lot of callbacks and there's a lot of things that are answered that a lot of people were asking themselves throughout this whole season. So, the first thing that you see is the father scene, is the interaction between Joel and
Mm,
Tommy's father, and
mm-hmm.
how they were kind of brought up. And Joel and Tommy's father was a cop, and he looked like he was a little rough around the edges. Drinking. He beat up on the kids a little bit, but he also like taught them a lot of things about not just family, but also like how they should stick together. And one thing that he says in the beginning, he's like, "You won't understand until you have one of your own."
Mm,
And then the one line that we'll touch on again, he says, "Hopefully, you'll do a little better than me." And that was like right in the beginning of the episode, and that's like the only thing that you see about his father. So then it goes into the episode of him and Joel and Ellie and their interactions, like Tarek was saying. They go into the birthdays, and how one birthday, the first birthday, and I love how they did this. The first birthday was perfect. It was Joel trying to prove to her like that he knew her,
mm-hmm.
did everything that she liked, took her into a space capsule, kind of took her into space, and they did a really cool scene that was straight from the video games of how of her trying to like kind of imagine her being in space in this capsule, which a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people a call back to the video game. If you're a fan of the video game, you love this scene, and this was a scene that they needed to put into this.
Mm.
And that was the first birthday. But then at the end of that first birthday, she looks into the forest and she sees these fireflies, and it's kind of like you know a symbolism, because it's like no matter how good their life is, there's this thought in the back of Ellie's head that something happened with the fireflies and why she's still alive. So then it goes into the second birthday, which is about a year later, and that's when things start. You see, because one of the biggest things in season two was the relationship between Ellie and Joel, and why it was so fractured, and how it got that way. And this was another circle back. So then the second birthday that they show, she's getting her tattoo. You see the first interaction of Joel finding out that she's into girls, and how upset he was about it and all that. But it also starts the whole thing of why she not hates Joel, but has resentment towards Joel. Then the third birthday, she's living in her own quarters, and the first thing she does is like you see that she actually knows. We've always questioned whether or not she knew about what happened with the Fireflies. And the first scene on the birthday when she turns 19 is her with a bunch of questions like, you know, if there were raiders, how did they catch up? Like, did everybody really die? So she kind of did know. But There's also a callback to Eugene, which is Gail's husband, and this season
Yeah.
Gail has been saying how much she hates him for killing her husband, and then now we find out why Joel killed her husband, and it's because
Yeah.
he was going to turn. But it's
Mm.
also an important thing, Eugene, because this was another time that Joel promised to Ellie something and he kind of went back on his promise and he lied. And it's the same face and the same feeling that she had when she told him to swear on what happened with the Fireflies. And that's when she knew that he lied.
Mm.
And also, the other thing too, this entire time, I was under the assumption that Joel died with the secret and that he killed the Fireflies. But then we come to find out they have a New Year's that they come back to the New Year's thing, and after they actually did have a conversation, and he actually told the truth on what happened, everything that happened, and he was afraid that he was going to lose her. But then she was saying that I don't think I could forgive you for this, but I'm willing to try. And then that's when he comes back with that line is hopefully you'll never know until you have one of your own, and hopefully you'll do a little better than me, which was full circle. And it's like something that he was never able to say to his actual daughter, he was ever able to say to Ellie before he died. And
Mm.
that right there,
Heartstrings,
somebody was
dog.
cutting onions in the crib, dog. Telling you.
Heartstrings,
So
dog.
that was like the big talk that we were waiting for. We find out that she actually does know what happened with the Fireflies. Joel actually was able to tell her the secret, and at the end of that episode, we see Ellie walking back to the theater where Dina and everybody else is, and we see now the story is going to progress, and now it adds a little bit more layers to everything that's going on,
Hmm.
and that is
Cool.
Yeah,
the
it
breakdown.
it gives you that's a dope breakdown. It gives you a lot of impetus to root for Ellie
Mm,
and to understand like why, because practically I'm like, why is this such a big deal to go get them for
mm,
killing Joel? Like you seem like you were mad at him. Like like everybody feels that like that's basically your father. But
yeah.
we got that relationship develop a lot more through the
Mm-hmm.
birthday progress, and we got to see what kind of person Joel is. Like Joel's like a um, I'll sacrifice anything to do the right thing,
Mm,
and we kind of see like why she has some forgiveness in her heart, even though she said in that scene, like, I don't know if I can ever forgive you for this, like what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't get a chance to, and it was taken away from her by the Firefly, and she's like, I don't care what he
mm,
did, and she makes the comment, she says, maybe my life was supposed to end, maybe that like I had a purpose and you took it away from me, and
mm,
that kind of got me too. I was like, damn, I never thought about it that way. Like he was just trying to save her, but
mm.
kind of like they
But
could
then
have,
that brings that like that right there brings him to say because I love you, and that line that his father told him because I love you, and you won't understand until you get one of your own,
yeah,
and hopefully you do better than a little better than me, and that
yeah,
right there, man, you could tell like not just the fact that like he wasn't just speaking to Ellie there, he was speaking to his daughter.
yeah.
And
Oh, for
that's
sure.
and that's what really like that hit.
Yeah, it was a daddy daughter moment.
Hmm.
It's reminiscent of like some of the scenes in Logan where Logan's like, okay, you are my daughter. Yeah, like he does everything he can to like save her.
Hmm.
X-23, it was a great show, man. Like for somebody who's not familiar with the video game, I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
in.
wait till you see
I'm
the
gonna
end.
wait for it all to come out and I'll
If
watch it
it
all.
if it's like the video game, the ending's gonna be epic.
Mm.
It's gonna be good. Um, one thing I do want to say is that the showrunner for the Last of Us said that there is way too much for it to end on season three.
Mm.
So we could be getting two more seasons of The Last of Us.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Well, if you don't know the game, might you be happy after season 3? I feel like whatever happens at the end of this one, I might be happy depending on how it ends.
It's like I don't know how they're gonna end it, man. I think they'll follow the video game because they have been pretty close to it as far as
Mm-hmm.
like the scenes and everything that they've done. But
Mm-hmm.
they do have little subtle changes in the script that is not exactly the same like the video game. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited, man. This show is really good. You know, a lot of people kind of turned themselves away from the show when Pedro Pascal got killed off and
Mm-hmm.
Joel. But I hope that this episode not only kind of made people a little bit more interested into Ellie's story arc, but also they could kind of it was kind of like a goodbye to Joel. Like, you know, he was able to say I love you. He was able to speak his truth and tell Ellie what happened. And I think this was a good goodbye for not just Pedro Pascal but for Joel.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying. I'll eventually catch up to it.
Me too,
Let,
though. It's so good.
yeah.
Yeah. What else are you
It's
doing? DJing and making
You
money and
know,
stuff.
trying to,
yeah.
trying
Andor's done,
to,
bro.
trying to
You
pay
can
off my
watch it.
house. Things like that.
Andor's done. You can watch it now, man.
Ah, I don't know.
No more Daredevil. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm doing. What am I watching right now? I'm watching Macross 7 because it's on Hulu now. So it's one of those shows that I watched when I was a kid. Uh, just watched it all in Japanese, and I didn't understand what was going on. So now seeing it in the subtitles, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. you know,
I'm watching.
and I,
I'm watching Gundam Crux on Hulu, which is all right, a little entertaining. I'm just a huge Gundam fan, so I'm gonna watch
mm,
that. But some a really good show, Paradise on Hulu, bro.
Oh yeah.
That I'm
oh
about
man,
halfway through, but that one's really
I
good.
forgot to ask Mama Bear doll because she makes dolls. I was gonna tell her to make me a doll of the Castlevania the character that I was trying to find a toy for and I couldn't. What's
Alucard?
her name? Yeah, no, not Alucard. The the Belmont's girlfriend. What was her name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forgot her name too.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted a cool. I was gonna buy. Oh, I would have spent like $300 on a cool statue or something. Well, there's like there's like nothing for that character. Like a bust or something. A cool statue. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
figure.
I fall back though. Like, wait.
No, I would have. Annette, that the character. That's the character.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta relax,
Yeah.
dog. $300.
Yeah. I was gonna buy like a whole statue, man. I like that character, man. But yeah, I digress. Anyway,
By the way, I know we didn't talk about this, but I've watched all of Black Mirror, the new season of Black Mirror.
yeah.
Oh, same.
Yeah, it was good.
Yo, I loved it too. I love the USS. The I love that they continue that story. The like Star Wars looking one. I forgot what
Oh
the
yes,
USS
yes, yeah,
McAllister.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Dude,
was a
I
great.
loved how they ended that story. I liked how they did that one. I also like the video game one, the Tackle Bots or whatever.
The what?
The AI, the little AI,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
guy
He's
with the
like,
long hair. Because
yeah,
now
yeah.
Netflix has that as a little video game.
Oh, do they really? Wow, that's
Really.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, I haven't watched it yet, but Love, Sex, and Robots also has a new season.
I think that's very similar to Black Mirror, right?
It is
Yeah.
very similar to Black Mirror. It's just a lot more animations
Right.
Yeah.
and dude, but they do a really good job as well.
Love
Well,
Suction Robots is dope.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also
I'll
saw
talk
Devil
about.
May Cry. Devil May Cry
Oh,
was
it was good. I
decent.
saw that. It was cool.
Yeah, Devil May Cry was really good. I like the fight scenes in it. Not enough fighting for me, but
It was okay.
I
I never really was into the video game either. But
I played the first couple of them. I stopped after they got to like 5.
I only know Dante from the Marvel vs. Capcom things.
oh, okay. Well, yes.
That's like, I mean, I knew Devil May Cry was a character.
Mhm.
Like, it was like a big thing when they introduced him. I think it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was
Dante's obviously the main character, but just a quick Devil May Cry. The first season's a setup for the second season on how him and his brother are going to be battling. Because you think that his brother's dead the whole time in the first season.
Yeah, they're setting it up.
Yeah, so they're setting up for the second season, but I think this could be a good one.
Yeah. You guys have watched, or is this new Final Destination out in theaters now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys have watched it.
I have watched it.
So there you go, Tarek. You get the exclusive right now. What did you think of it?
I'm
Really?
On my screen right now is Final Destination 3. Because I was sitting here working and I was like, I got to figure out where this Final Destination ranks. Because I walked out of this movie saying like, oh, that was one of the best. That has to be the best Final Destination movie. And I've liked several of them. But I'm like, that has to be the best. I mean, we were like, my homeboy's birthday, so we were 3 grown-ass men in there. And there was another grown-ass man sitting next to me with his girl. And we were all like, oh. At several moments, like, oh. And from the start to the end, pure action, pure like, yo, how is somebody gonna? I mean, what we're going to Final Destination for. Final Destination is basically like, how can we dramatize banned from television?
It's like 1,000 ways. Final Destination is a 1,000 ways to die in a movie form.
yeah, it really is. And man, the ways they come up with it and the motivations in this one were actually good. And yeah, the whole way through, man, I give it 8.5 for that genre. For that genre, I don't know how you can do much more. I highly enjoyed it, but let me say this: I will never watch it again.
Okay.
Never watch it again?
I'm never going to go to the theater and watch it again. I might watch it at home, but I'm not going to rewatch. It was so good, but I'm not going to rewatch this in the theater because once you kind of know,
it doesn't hit the same.
You can't watch it the same.
No, I get it. I get that.
It was amazing. It's made a lot of money.
Yeah, apparently it's really hot. Apparently it's doing well. So, there you go. Here you go. So a little tidbit there. The last movie role for Tony Todd in this movie, I believe.
Yeah, he actually his last lines in the film.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry. His last lines in the film were improv. Because they knew he had cancer at the time, and that he had like a certain amount of time. So the directors were like, we have these lines, but you can just say what you want, like say what you want about life. And I'm rewatching Final Destinations. Clearly, I didn't realize how many of these films he was in.
Yeah, he was in a lot.
It didn't register to me, And they're like, "Yo, this is your send off. Like this is probably gonna be your last film." So he improvs his last lines, and man, again, tugging at the heartstrings. I don't know.
R.I.P. Tony Todd, man.
R.I.P. Yeah.
He's a horror film legend.
Yeah, he is. All right, guys. I think that's it for today's show. Unless I'm forgetting something. All right.
I think Rich is going to be in the next Superman film, but he's not saying anything.
He probably.
I want to out it out. I want to out it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for everyone here on the live feed. Of course, if you're listening to a replay of this on maybe the Wild 94.1 YouTube channel or the audio version of the podcast, you can be part of the live show because we go live on Speedy's Multiverse YouTube channel every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go subscribe over there and hang out with us for the live show, and you can comment and be part of the show. As well. If not, that's cool. You like to just listen to us? That's fine too. The audio version of this Geek Culture Congress podcast is up wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Of course, you can always, if you're watching the replay of this on the YouTube channel as well, thank you so much. Give me a subscribe, please, if you feel so inclined to do so. And if you're watching this on Wild 94.1's YouTube channel as well, thank you so much. All right, Mr. Tarek Lewis, I'll let them know how they can follow you, sir.
The Tarek Lewis on Instagram and also on YouTube.
All right, Mr. Rich Ortiz.
Richie_Ortiz, as you see it right here. I am on Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Instagram, X, and mihente.com.
All right, guys. Of you can follow me at DJ Speedy JR. All the socials. Follow the show, Geek Culture Congress Podcast on Instagram. And thank you so much for being part of the live show. Thanks to Socks. Thanks to Mama Bear. Thank you so much. Have a good one, everybody. Be safe. Next week, I have no idea what the heck we're talking about.
Shrink, Rich. You gotta shrink it to it.
But we'll find something to talk about. We'll bring you here. It's live on the show, man. Have a good one, everybody. Be safe. See you guys next week.
Blow up.
You'll probably blow up. Peace, everybody.